Hey, this is Kristen Shaw with Airport Improvement, and today we have show and tell with Sarah and Eric from Legacy Building Solutions. How are you guys?
Pleasant. You?
Doing great.
Good. It's nice to see you. I'm looking forward to hearing about what you've been up to. So let's start with the basics and tell our audience what Legacy does.
Sure. So Legacy Building Solutions, we're a tension fabric building manufacturer based out of Minnesota, and we supply tension fabric buildings to multiple industries around the mostly United States, but also we're also very global as well.
I know that a big part of your process is that you provide service from A to Z, everything from the design all the way up to the construction. How does that help your customers, and how do you find that that works?
I'll take this one. Oftentimes it's difficult for our end users. They have to kind of wear all the hats. So we take some of that responsibility. The engineering is done in-house, the manufacturing and the install with Legacy in-house crews. So it gives them peace of mind of knowing that we can collectively handle all aspects of the project. They have one point of contact, usually me.
Right.
Well, you have a great personality, so that makes it really good.
I think the best thing about me is I'm responsive.
That's important because people want to know what you're doing and where the project is and what's going to happen next, right?
That's correct. And it's really having that one person and knowing that they're going to answer day or night to be able to address whatever concerns they have. And that's the biggest compliment I get.
What would make a customer, an airport customer in particular, choose the kind of fabric that you use, and describe that versus what somebody might use with the traditional materials?
Yeah, so benefits of fabric or PVC, we use Exotech Elite. It's one of the strongest on the market today with a 30-year life expectancy. But the real motivators behind choosing fabric is speed of construction, natural light. You can set it and forget it like a crock pot. It is very versatile, strong as metal. If not stronger, arguments can be made. And durability, life cycle, and lack of maintenance are probably some of the other big ones. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
What are some typical concerns or questions that people have when they come to you and say, well, why, how could I choose something like that? How would that work for me?
Yeah, so I mean, most people in the industry don't really understand tension fabric structures. They see it, they think it's a temporary solution, which there are a lot of temporary solutions out there. Mm-hmm. We've actually integrated rigid I-beam frames with tension fabric, so we are a very permanent solution. Like Sarah mentioned, quick erection. We're doing everything here in-house as well, so we're very responsive that way. But I mean, there's a lot of applications that tension fabric buildings are definitely a better fit than traditional structures.
And to piggyback off of what he said, the challenge really when converting somebody from traditional building materials to fabric is overcoming what they see on the side of the road. They think tent or party tent or light duty. Our buildings are meant to be permanent. They're engineered to be permanent based on every location and city code.
How long has Legacy been around?
Yeah, so we actually started manufacturing in 2010, but our history goes back a lot further. Back in 1997, we started installing tension fabric structures for a lot of other building manufacturers. So fast forward, we did that for about 13 years, which gave us a lot of experience. It gave us a lot of do's and don'ts in the industry as well. And so that's where we took all of that knowledge and, we applied it to what we're currently doing today. And that's where we integrated that rigid frame.
Yeah, and I would say the real history behind Legacy and what sets us apart from others is that we have kind of a unspoken mantra of break it so we can make it better for tomorrow. If you came to our campus, or anybody, and you're all welcome, now that COVID has released some of those restrictions, come on over. You will see the progression of our building profiles and the technology and the thought that goes behind it. We've tested absolutely everything. And again, to kind of piggyback off of what Eric said, we started out scrappy installers. We learned how they did it and we went, that doesn't work. We fixed it and it goes up. And again, peace of mind for the customer and knowing they have total control, or we have total control over the project.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that. You're not contracting out, different people for every project. You have people on staff that know the process and know how to do it right.
Absolutely. So as issues arise, we can actually resolve those quite quickly as well.
Yeah, and I do want to be clear. I mean, we handle everything we do. There are some things, just to kind of put that out there. We're not lighting people. We're not power or electric or HVAC. Those would be handled by whoever. But if we manufacture it, we will stand behind it.
You mentioned COVID, so that makes me want to ask you the question, how has business changed for you in the last year, especially with supply chain issues across the board, and some traditional materials have been in short supply. How has that affected Legacy?
Well, I'll let you get to the supply chain, but I will say on a personal level, it's really allowed me to get closer with our customers. I'm hearing their dogs in the background and making that personal connection through video chat. I mean, a couple of years ago, I would have been completely uncomfortable with this as a platform. I would have been shaking in my boots, if you will, to have to be on a camera. Now it's like, this is how I talk to everybody. So it's that peace of mind. So in one regard, it's really challenged us to think outside of the box on how we do things. But from a supply chain status, we've all had challenges, but Eric can expand on that.
We're definitely not immune to it. We're buying the same steel that pre-engineered metal buildings are buying. Fortunately, because we are doing most everything in-house, we can be very reactive, or proactive, I should say, and be able to get everything. So we have seen some delays, but fortunately we have actually pretty short lead times compared to most other suppliers in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sarah and Eric, tell me about a project or projects that you worked on recently that were successful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just completed a project last year over in Rota, Spain for the U.S. Navy. It was 2 hangars, 100 by 100s, which there were some challenges since we did complete it during COVID, or while we're still kind of in the COVID pandemic, but just with traveling with our install crews and everything else. But at the end of the day, we were able to complete it on time, or with the time frame that was set out, and our customers were happy, and we were actually extremely happy with the finished product as well.
Sarah, how about you? I know that there was a project in Ontario, California that was very successful. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, that one was definitely one of my career highlights, if you will. It was 2 very large buildings that were used for, let's just say, online shopper sorting facility. And it was definitely our project to win because it really showed our strengths in the ability to have 2 different peak heights and build to match their site specifically. There were a lot of challenges we faced just to get those buildings up. I mean, the city, like many other people, kind of go, fabric building, really? But with just a quick meeting and an introduction to who we are, what we do, and how we do it better, we were able to overcome some of that thinking that they had. And the buildings are amazing. The customers are super happy. Again, the benefits of fabric, one of them is when you're inside, you feel like you're outside. Everybody likes that. It's warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer because it's not a conductor of hot or cold. So from an energy standpoint, they saved a lot of money from just reduced lighting. And that was the big, I guess, eye opener for them. And it transcends because they're very proud of their buildings as well, and they voice it a lot.
And I remember that they had an unusual footprint that they needed to meet, and Legacy was the perfect match for that.
Yeah, they had some challenges with the FAA and some clearances for flight line. So they wanted height in their building, but with that diminished ability, we were able to do higher in the back end or on the road side versus the airline side. The roof height was, right. We were able to capture that FAA clearance.
Yeah, so we took the roof line and we actually had 2 different roof line profiles. So we stepped it down towards the front of the building. It's
a really interesting story. And reader and viewers, you can find that on the Airport Improvement website. I'll link it here in our video description. And so what's next? Are there any interesting trends coming? Is there anything coming up that you think people should know about?
Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, legacy as we continue to grow, we're diversifying in our markets. We're always, like Sarah said, scrappy, trying to, get out, figure out what the customer needs. We're trying to do everything research and development here in-house, so we're really responsive to what the needs are, and we're always exploring what we can do.
And I think I would challenge anybody who's been sitting on projects and maybe not sure. COVID made them insecure about what the future is going to hold, especially in aviation. And maybe they had projects that they were using traditional building materials. I would challenge them to give me a call to see exactly what we can do to maybe reduce budget or still meet the expectations and expedite construction, because speed of service is what we're very, very good at.
Well, thank you so much to both of you,
Thank you.
Sarah and Eric. Thanks for joining us today. And find Legacy online at your website, which is
www.legacybuildingsolutions.com.
Thank you both. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you.
Later.
Have a great day.